Okay, everyone, this is another weekly session of Morning Jim Poetry, and I'm Jim Ransom. I can scarcely wait to read you some more poems. We are coming to the end of February, and thank God it is the shortest of the months. For those of us living in the upper two-thirds of America and Canada, February is the coolest month, not T.S. Eliot's preference for giving that honor to April. February can give us hints of spring. That might be the most ironic part of it. Here in western Pennsylvania, for example, we have a flower called teardrops. And teardrops will come right up through an inch or two of snow and bloom. They do that. Then a chilling cold front and snow flurries snatches away our hopes. We've had robins here, but as soon as it gets cold and snowy again, they go back south. Here's a poem by poet and novelist Margaret Atwood, also known as the author of the famous book, The Handmaid's Tale. And her poem is called February. February. The month we've been denigrating. And she doesn't give it any good report. February by Margaret Atwood. Winter. Time to eat fat and watch hockey. In the pewter mornings, the cat, a black fur sausage with yellow Houdini eyes, jumps up on the bed and tries to get into my head. It's his way of telling me whether or not I'm dead. If I'm not, he wants to be scratched. If I am, well, he'll think of something. He settles on my chest, breathing his breath of burped up meat and musty sofas, purring like a washboard. Some other tomcat, not yet a capon, has been spraying our front door, declaring war. It's all about sex and territory, which are what will finish us off in the long run. Some cat owners around here should snip a few testicles. If we wise hominids were sensible, we'd do that too, or eat our young like sharks. But it's love that does us in. Over and over again, he shoots, he scores, and famine crouches in the bedsheets, ambushing the pulsing eiderdown, and the wind chill factor hits 30 below, and pollution pours out of our chimneys to keep us warm. February, month of despair, with a skewered heart in its center. I think dire thoughts and lust for French fries with a splash of vinegar. Cat, enough of your greedy whining in your small pink bumhole. Off my face. You're the life principle, more or less. So get going on a little optimism around here. Get rid of death. Celebrate. Increase. Make it be spring. I love that poem. I think she's done a great job with that poem. And when she speaks of February, with a skewered heart in the center, what is she telling us? Well, she's alluding to the fact that February is, for some reason, the month of Valentine's Day. Well, Valentine was a Roman, and he was born in February. It probably wasn't so bad down in Rome at that time of the year. The cat plays a prominent role in this poem, as you see. And cats seem to play a prominent role in her life as well. By the way, she lives in Canada, and that's why she talks about 30 below and the chimneys belching smoke in the middle of the winter. What else would a chimney do in Canada? Anyway, that's a great poem. Next, I'm going to read one of my own unpublished poems called Words of Wisdom. And maybe we could say it describes Atwood's poems and books. Words, words, words. I stand before you bent on speaking. Words. Words gleaned from centuries beyond you and me. Words brought to being in first form by fingers not attached to slavish keyboards. Words written first with chalk or carved laboriously into clay or painted on the walls of caves. Words, 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 the tools of poets, of prosers and other poseurs, with which we attempt to create or recreate war and peace, only one of which we are equipped for in our pride. War is what we best remember, with feats of valor and memories of awful deaths and tortures, wiping out entire peoples and chasing others and their strange languages to islands and mountains far away from their original lands. Peace? What do we remember of it? And where was it? What special attraction does it have for heroes? Beautiful sunsets can be seen, even in the midst of war. What attraction has silence, which at best we fill with music or galleries of Rembrandts? True silence is rare. Even the night has bird calls. True silence may be only a polar experience. Even then we may have ringing in our ears and voices from the past full of pathos and grief. We will have plenty of silence after death, buried too deep for wolves to dig us up, or gone in smoke and saved as silent ashes. Words, words, words are where we live forever. Well, I hope you don't feel too discouraged by that poem, but I think that human existence is wound up in words, isn't it? We're just beginning to have artificial intelligence. Some people would say that that's the only kind we've ever had, but we'll see what happens with that. Finally, here is another poem. It is a poem about my late wife, Marcia, and about life in general, and what life can teach us if we are listening. This poem is called Of an Age. Of an Age. I have reached a great age now, shocking everyone. Some college books, once bright with supple spines, are still on my shelves, their pages yellow and blotched like the skin on the back of my hands. But the profundities, the beauty, the dreams all linger. What can replace my margin notes on Eliot? My wife dresses me in young men's styles, because to her I am still as I was 50 years ago, perhaps not so limber of foot and less hair. And she says with a wry smile, we have had only one argument in 40 years and counting. but we have it every day. Who's the boss? We are both oldest children, so a bad match. How happy those few days when I win. Life now has so much about it finally settled. I still remember where the graves are, and where the money is, and the friendly tools. We are all wise in our own ways. The photos I took on travels to Tuscany, Scotland, Alaska, Oxford, Rome, Bath, Barcelona, Wales, and Greece. The best are from Venice and Florence and Assisi, where the ancient doors and tombs are redolent with ghosts. All these invisible people, I feel them, make the mist that sidles through Italian air, touching us and longing for us. These, the ancestors of our mothers, our fathers, and our first lovers. They were wise in their own way. Age before beauty. I've always been told that, but how is that working out in this time when the slender blonde jogger, swishing her ponytail and her rippling loins, pumps past me on her morning run while I traverse the narrow park? How can I tell her that her proud and supple joints will wear and ache and creak and hobble? But why would I be so cruel? She would laugh, unbelieving, floating on in the free air. I stay silent with my secret, and could not bear to see a frown engulf her knowing smile. We are both wise in our own ways. I enjoyed writing that, and I hope you enjoy my reading it. I hope I am wise enough now to know that it is time to bring this session to a close. I hope you'll be back next week, and I'll be reading some poems then by Billy Collins and others selected by him in his collection, Poetry 180. See you then. Bye now.